Good morning, YouTube family. Good afternoon and good evening, wherever you might be. Welcome to Happy Crappy Hour. Yes, where we talk about our happies and our crappies that have happened this week. But we also get a little lesson too while we're at it. And our topic today is why the New Supply and Fan Club don't escape. Because as we look around and we see the New Supply and the fan club still clinging to this narcissist that we know is just bad news and has shown evidence of controlling and being just a horrible person. And you're wondering, and then they even treat the New Supply and the fan club badly. And yet the New Supply and fan club don't escape. They don't leave either because they can't or because they won't. And we're going to talk about both today. So, welcome, welcome. I wanted to, what do I want to talk to you about today? Sorry. I want to talk about the happies and crappies first, and that's how we start. So, our happies this week, well, I'm going to start with a crappy. And it was a friend of mine got diagnosed with cancer. And so she's going through a really hard time since she just got diagnosed about a week ago. And so a bunch of us came together around her yesterday to pray over her. And afterwards, she told us that she got such peace from it. So that's our happy. It's such a bad and tragic news. But here we have our community that came around her, and we are setting up not just meals for her family, but we're going to teach her how to cook vegan, or not cook, I guess, but put together vegan meals for herself, even if her family doesn't want to eat vegan, that's fine. But the best way that we have found, my community of women, several or a few of us, because there's not that many of us together, but a few of us are very much into nutrition and have studied it extensively, have struggled with our own illnesses and fought those off, including cancer, with nutrition. So, anyway, we got to share all of our wealth of information with her, or not all, but a bit at a time. And we're going to walk through this with her. So we are committed to going to her appointments with her. We're going to be there when her husband can't be there for her at these appointments because he's working. And we're going to show her how to put together these vegan meals for herself so that they're delicious and not, bland or boring. And we're going to help her walk through all of this. So she just left there so encouraged. So from that crappy, came our happy as well, because we came together as a community to help someone who is really in need. And not to say that there aren't others who are in need, and people, there's always some need, but this was the greatest one. And we came around her immediately, gave her the encouragement that she needed, but also commitment. You know how some people they're encouraging at first, but then you never see them again, right? And every time you need them, they're busy and they don't commit to anything with you. Well, this is not the case. So that is our happy. That's my happy for the week, is that I'm so glad that I was able to come alongside her and and be a part of this group where we're actually going to live out what we believe, right? We believe in community, and I talk about community in this group all the time. And that's why pretty much, I commit to every week doing a live stream with you guys, because I want you to have this. I want you to know that you can always come here. And unless something huge or tragic happens, we are going to be here. So you can count on this. If you need a dose of positivity, a dose of good news, a dose of hope, you can come here. And like I said before in my other streams, if you message me on my newest videos, that's the best way to get in contact with me. It's great if you leave comments on my older videos. Sometimes I'm able to go back and answer those, but mostly the newer videos, I check to make sure that I try to answer the questions and comments there. So if you need any advice or questions that you have or anything like that answered, you just go right on to, oh, I don't know why my screen is doing this. So I'm going to clean this and see if that'll help. Maybe that helped. Okay. So yeah, so come on to my newest videos. You can make the comments in the comment section, of course. And if you need further interaction or conversation with me, we can do that offline as well. I have an email, escape from Crazytown at gmail.com. And we can also connect. I'm thinking to branch out into life coaching. So that's a new thing, you guys. I'm getting that prepared. I'm starting to build up a program in that so that I can start helping people if they should need life coaching. And we can talk about that. So that is my good news and my happy for this week. So good to see you guys hopping on here. Oh, I don't know why I can't see at the beginning. Is it Diana or Dana? Good morning. And Frost is best in world. Oh, it says I'm at work. I'll watch later. Hope everyone's having a good day. Happy birthday, ex-narc. A lot of memories today. Oh, yes. I remember Frost is best in world. I saw your comment in the community post. And that this is your ex's birthday. It does conjure up a lot of memories, special days, holidays, things like that we share with the narcissist. And a lot of times, those special days, I guess I don't know what to call those, will kind of ruin the rest of your day. So I hope that it doesn't ruin your day, that you remember that this is part of your past and you can compartmentalize that, which is, I love people who can compartmentalize, by the way. Compartmentalize that, deal with it later, and in a way where you're not going to get super emotional or pulled back into the past. Yeah. Dangerous Conversations, good morning. John Bailey, good morning. Free Spirit says, good day, escaping everybody. Namaste, good to see you here. Finally made it at the beginning. Yay, namaste, everyone. Lady Marks, good morning. Yes, good to see you guys here. John says, yeah, she's at it again. She sent me memories we shared together on January 1st, 2016. Oh my gosh. John, I don't know how you feel about cutting contact with her entirely, like blocking her, but that's, entirely up to you. But if you feel like you cannot move forward, if you feel like you don't have room to, or even the capacity to start a new relationship or have new relationships, it could be because she is still tied to you. It could be because she's still involved in your life to the point where she's filling those places in your heart or in your mind where you can't focus on a new relationship or other relationships and pour into those. So be careful about how much access she has to you. Yeah, John says, I'm going to have to cut contact eventually. And I know, many of us go through this period where you don't want to cut off completely. Yeah, John, exactly, says she has me stuck. Exactly. And that's what the point I'm getting to is that when the narcissist has this drip, drip, drip effect on you or access to you, they will keep you stuck. You won't be able to get away from them because you're focused on them. Your mind is redirected back towards them every time they contact you, even if it's like a text and not even a phone call, even if it's a Christmas card, right? Every time they interject a little word into your life, that word just kind of like spreads and spreads like a virus, right? And it overtakes your mind. It keeps you focused on that for longer, far longer than you should. And meanwhile, life is just like going past you. People are coming in and out of your day and life, and you're not paying attention to them because your mind is focused on that last message you just got from the narcissist. So it's impossible to be present in your current life and with current people in your life when your mind is running off into all these nooks and crannies and memories that you had with the narcissist, right? Just like, is it Free Spirit earlier? Sorry, you guys. Just like Frost is Best, I think, where she said that today's his birthday, right? The ex-narc's birthday. And even when they don't have access to you, or they're not the ones interjecting their life into your life, certain days will draw you back into those dark nooks and crannies. Or maybe, you may even are looking fondly back at it and wishing you were back into this fantasy world. Again, that takes you out of the current moment. That takes you out of living in the moment with the people who are there now with you. And it robs you of your life. It robs you of current relationships. So that's what I want to just share with you there, John. Yeah, John says it really does spread. And I have been in limbo for 2 years now. Yes, exactly. And that is not living, my friend. I hope that being here, you'll be able to start making some decisions. And I want to encourage you, by the way, maybe challenge you to do something different this week. Like go have coffee with somebody, and or maybe join a book club, right? Even if it's a Zoom thing and they only meet during Zoom, see if you can get connected with any kind of group that you might be interested in, right? If it's a book club, if it's I know we're so limited now, which is really sad, you guys. So we have to get inventive. We have to get creative about how to connect with people because you guys, this is what I believe is going on right now. I know people don't see it yet, but isolation, that is what's happening. And you have to be very careful right now in you how you work around that, right? Because we need community. We do not need isolation. We need community. We were built for community. People are, even introverts are built for community. Because even introverts, when they go off by themselves, I watch some of these shows where there's a one reality show called Alone, where they drop, I think it's 10 people in the wilderness somewhere, and they are there entirely alone. No camera crew, and they're not even close enough to each other to find each other, right? And even the most introverted people go haywire after a while, right? They miss other people. So we are built for community, and whatever you can think of to get in a community, John, that's what I would encourage you to do. And yeah, we'll just see how that goes, right? You let me know. Let me know if what you decide to do, and if if you're joining anything differently or doing anything differently this week. So John says every time she contacts me, it gives me false hope. Exactly. Oh my gosh, John, that really pulls us right into our topic today, this false hope. And today's topic is why the new supply and fan club don't escape. So that is one of the biggest things. And actually, let's talk about that right now as our first point, because false hope is exactly one of the reasons why the new supply or the fan club and the fan club, right, don't leave. They don't escape the narcissist, no matter how bad the narcissist is being to them, because that narcissist gives them breadcrumbs of hope, right? Just little tastes of kindness, or they give them a little hint of enjoyment or excitement or interest. And and then the new supply, or maybe the old supply, right? In this case, and the fan club cannot let go because that sparks that little bit of hope in them, a little bit of excitement, a little bit of something new and maybe full of life, right? Or life giving. And they think it's life giving because you see it and it looks so much prettier or brighter than what you're currently sitting in. If you're sitting in depression, if you're sitting in darkness, if you're sitting in your life in a place where there's not any excitement. And right now, by the way, sadly, there's not a lot of excitement to be had because people are getting locked down again. People are getting isolated again. People are getting restricted again. So more now than ever, people who, even if they don't have a narcissist in their life, are experiencing the same things that we experience after leaving a narcissist. And that's that isolation. It's that hopelessness. It's that dark room where we're sitting with our fears and our pain, and we're not sure how to get out because we don't have access now to other people. So I know that there are people that you can call, but after a while, your friends, your family, they get tired of hearing the same story over and over again and they don't understand and they say, just get over it. Or they're now in so much of their own hopelessness or their own isolation that they can't help you either. So let's focus on this. Let's focus on how then do we get creative? How then do we start adding good things into our life? All right. So first of all, I want to talk about, this hope, this false hope that New Supply and the fan club hold on to, because especially now they look back at the narcissist and they think, and they may even go back to the narcissist. This could be the ex, because right now life is looking really bleak, and the connections, because we haven't been able to make new connections like we used to, like as easily as we used to. We could have joined bicycling clubs, we could have joined knitting clubs, we could have joined traveling clubs. No more, no more, right? You can't do that anymore. And it's very inconsistent, I think, with the online stuff, because people are less likely to stay connected. If all they do is turn on the screen, then they're like, then I'm just going to watch a movie. I'm just going to watch a show. I'm going to watch some videos instead of interacting with people. So it does not provide an incentive to really connect with other people. Anyway, you have to get creative. Um, Instead of hoping, instead of reliving the past, and instead of fondly looking back and daydreaming about what you could have, you have to start making things happen now. And that's why, John, I was saying add something this week to your life. If it's including maybe even calling up old friends and saying, hey, can we meet once a week? Even if it's online, right? But if you can meet in person, I would encourage that. One or two people, well, I think that's still okay or whatever. But if you can, I would suggest you meet with people face to face. And that, my gosh, you guys, is one of my happies this week, is that I still have friends. We still can get together, and I still do volunteer work. So, there's interaction there. Oh, that's another thing, by the way, John. Start volunteering. They will still take volunteers face to face, because there are people in need that need the face to face help. So do that. You'd be so surprised how much connection you can start making. And it's life giving, it's real life giving, not the fake life that you think that the narcissist would give you. So here's another reason why the New Supply and the fan club, they don't escape. They get too much out of the narcissist, right? The narcissist has been their lifeline. The narcissist has been the impetus to excitement in their life. The narcissist would bring hobbies or certain activities into their life. And to get rid of the narcissist, or to get away from the narcissist, to them means they would have to give up, maybe a membership to a climbing club, or groups that they were part of, like a kayaking club, right? They feel like if they're no longer with the narcissist, they don't get to be part of that community anymore. So they want to stay with the narcissist because they're afraid of isolation. They're afraid that they'd be out and in the cold by themselves. So the New Supply and the fan club stay close and connected to the narcissist. Because as you know, remember, we've talked about this before, the narcissist is often the life of the party. The narcissist is often the one that draws people together, because they need supply, they need groups of people. So when you're with the narcissist, you automatically have that group, right? You automatically have access to community. And so a lot of times the New Supply does not escape because they fear missing out on that community. Another reason why the New Supply doesn't escape is because they're addicted. They're addicted to the power or the benefits or the luxuries or access that they have because of the narcissist. And I've known people who've stayed with narcissists because the narcissist is rich, right? The narcissist has money. The narcissist has influence on people. So the new supply is essentially addicted to it. That they do not want to be cut loose because they love the luxuries they've gotten used to. They love that they have a nice car or they have stability financially. They love that. And they know that these benefits would go away if they leave the narcissist. And I also know people who've left narcissists like that and then they just feel like they have absolutely nothing. But you guys, it is better to start over on your own and get on your own 2 feet than to rely on narcissists. We're going to get into that. Another reason that the new supply and the fan club, they don't escape is because they've been isolated. They've left their support network or they've burned bridges with their family and friends or their boss even, right? Because the narcissist has convinced them to quit their job or to really tell their boss off, right? Narcissists give such bad advice, by the way, and they do ruin your life, probably intentionally, but also they do it unintentionally because they just give such horrible advice about relationship. So a lot of times the new supply will do what the narcissist suggests that they do. They will burn all these bridges with their support group, with their support system. They will insult their relatives to the point where their relatives don't want anything to do with them anymore, or they will be told to tell off people in their life, right? And another thing is a lot of times also the narcissist will have had the new supply move far away. So not just emotionally, but physically now, moving away from their old supply, their old support system. And now the new supply can't escape, right? And they look around and they're thinking, well, where would I escape to? And I don't have the money to get back to my family, or I don't have the means to get away because I don't have a place to stay. And they end up stuck and cannot escape. And this happens even with the fan club, because this fan club, I look at some of these, it's really horrible, but I look at some of these, what do you call it, music stars, I suppose. I hate to call them that, but I guess they are. They're mega music people, and they have their roadies, right? The roadies travel along with them, but it's not just roadies. These people live in their house, stay in their house, have access in and out of their mansions. And so the fan club doesn't leave because where would they go? I mean, at least at the narcissist mansion, they get to be fed. They get access to a clean room. They get access to everything the narcissist has and is willing to give or share, I guess, right, with their fan club. And they are stuck. They're stuck. So you guys, there are a couple of other things I do want to say about this, but I want to see how you guys are doing. Namaste says, you can do it, John. We have 6 kids and I feel no attachment to my toxic abuser 2 years later. Amen to that, Namaste. Yes. Sui R says, Happy New Year 2021. Yes, Happy New Year to you guys. Yes. The new narc Jezebel of my ex-narc is the life of the party. Yes, right? They really are. And people get addicted to that. They feel like I'm missing out if I don't stay with the narcissist. And the narcissist brings this excitement into their life, but there's a cost to that. And that's where we are. We know what the cost is. The new supply a lot of times knows what the cost is, but they're willing to stay. And not just willing, they're addicted to the benefits. So they will pay the cost, right? So here we are. Namaste says, oh, yeah, 2 narcs together. Yes, right? Narcs are attracted to other narcs. And the funny thing is, though, it's like an explosion when they're together. We don't see that. We see the happy, fun, exciting part. But then when they're alone, that's when the explosion happens because they require the other one to give them supply, require it. And then they use all of their tactics, their manipulations of shame and guilt and anger and all this stuff to try to get the other narc to do what they want them to do. And narcissists do not like to serve other people. So that always ends up in a great explosion. Namaste says, I was the doting military spouse for 20 years and let it all go to get away from emotional abuse. Exactly. Exactly. You know, when you've been there for long enough, you know, there's some benefit, right? But then it gets to a point where you realize this is your whole life. This is not going to change. You know, are you willing to resign the rest of your life, sign it over to the narcissist? And that's essentially what you do. You pretty much sign this contract and you give your life to the narcissist because it is never your own again when you're with a narcissist. Sui R says, yes, my ex-narc is isolated now, just together with the fan club of Narc Jezebel. Ooh, yeah. Wow. I'm trying to understand. Okay. So your ex-narc doesn't have access then to healthy people. They are now surrounded by the narc's fan club. Yep. And that's a nightmare. It really is. ZZ, good to see you, says 2 years into a divorce. Nightmare. So sorry about that. Yeah, divorcing a narcissist is ugly because the narcissist feels the need to destroy, right? When the narcissist is injured, right, and divorce is an injury to a narcissist because it's rejection. So even if you're not the one who filed for the divorce and it was the narcissist who filed for the divorce, the narcissist is still going to go through a financial problem, hardship, and they're going to blame you. It's going to be a nightmare because they want to take out their anger and their blame on other people. Because remember, the narcissist is never responsible for anything bad that happens in their life. Yeah. And this is their last chance of, you know, of blaming you and sticking you with the responsibility of what's going on in their life. Suyar says they have, oh, hold on, they have supply, they share. Young girls, they both use. Oh no. What? That's getting real creepy. I'm not going to read that, but because I don't want this video to be banned. But those of you who want to see it, it's in about 27 minutes into the video. So we are in the comments or a live chat. Suyar says the really bad is she is a leader of a mini cult and is always claiming love, and she is absolutely the opposite. Yep, I've had run-ins with people who act as if they are the light and the way, and it turns out they're the darkness and the trap, not the light and the way. It's the darkness and the trap. And that is what they really are. We have to be so discerning right now because there are a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing. And I think even more now because people are going through the same kind of experiences that narc abuse ends up putting you, like the isolation, the loneliness, the maybe losing a job, right? Financial hardship. You're going through a lot of things right now. Yeah. Yeah. Amanda, good to see you, says, hi, good to be joining you again. Are you far from your microphone or something? I'm struggling a bit to hear you. Oh, I'm not sure. Why? Oh, hold on. Oh, I'm so sorry. Are you guys able to hear me now? I did not realize that you couldn't hear me. I did have my volume muted, but I thought that was only for things coming in. Hopefully that works. Yes. Yes. Okay. I hope you are able to. Oh, okay. Seems better. Great. Thank you. I'm so. Ooh, I hope that that doesn't ruin the video. But um, okay, let's move on, you guys. So another reason why the new supply and the fan club don't escape is because they're broken. They have broken self-esteem. They've been devalued, used, and shamed, right? They feel like after the narcissist has used them, has devalued them, has told them that they're worthless, right? Has treated them like pretty much a dog, which is horrible. They don't feel like they can go to somebody else. They don't feel like anybody else would take them. They don't feel like they can even go back to their old friends or their family because they don't feel that anybody would want them back, right? Because they've been broken down to the point where the narcissist has let them know nobody else would want them, and that the narcissist, they're lucky to have the narcissist, right, in their life. So they buy into that, they're brainwashed by it, they believe it, they're completely broken, and they don't have the self-worth to move, to get out, or to escape, right? And they stay, and even though the abuse continues, the devaluing continues, it's not enough to motivate them to leave, because they just don't have that value, that strength to go, and so they stay, which is really sad and sickening for anybody to have to endure. So just know that you got out. If you got out, and if you're here, it's because probably you did get out. Very few times have I had someone get on here that said that they're still with the narcissist. But if you are still with the narcissist, the good news is you can get out. Don't buy into that lie that you're worthless and that you're not strong enough to go without the narcissist. Um, you absolutely are strong enough. In fact, you have to be strong enough, right? Otherwise, you just sign your life over. And there's no need for that. No need for that. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Sui R says he had a bad childhood and has broken self esteem. Yeah, a lot of times narcissists, I think, are made because the ones that are made, I think they can change. But sadly, if they are so broken that they treat others around them so badly, a lot of times they don't change because they don't forgive themselves. They don't get the proper healing, and they resign to the fact that this is just the way they are, and they're going to continue to be that way, and they continue to be abusive, which is a real jerk move, by the way. And that's why I say, even if you're with somebody who you think might be able to change, it is not your job to change them. It is their job. And by the way, you can't change them. They have to decide. And you don't have to be their punching bag while they figure it out, right? And if you two are meant to be together, you will come back together when that person is healthy, when that person has figured out their brokenness, when that person has learned to not be a narcissist, right? Or narcissistic, really. Um, then if they truly loved you, they will come for you and seek you out, and with a healthy mind. And I've said this before too. There has never been a time, really, when a narcissist uh, will get their life together and then come back and say, "Oh, I got my life together. I got that job. I got out of debt. I have a home now that I have built so that I can bring you into this wonderful life with me." No narcissist has ever done that that I know of. What they do instead is they control, they berate, they take you, and then they take what you have and claim it for themselves, and then demand even more. It's never that they build something and want to share with you, right? Because they love you. They share with you to use you for a time, and then they kick you out. Like those terrible. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I'm thinking about these crazy rich music, whatever, stars who have mansions. And yeah, at first you think, oh, they're so generous because they're sharing with their fan club. They're sharing with all this supply, right? Of course, they don't have just one supply, they're going to have multiple. And all the supply pretty creepily get along because they know they each have a turn with the narcissist, and they're willing to accept that in order to have access to the luxuries, right? Have access to the narcissist's money. And by the way, that kind of supply, the narc gets what they get. This is not going to be a quality person. This is going to also be a very broken person. And it's very hard for those types of broken people to ever escape. It's very hard for that kind of supply to ever walk away. They pretty much have to be shut out or kicked out or completely ignored or and abandoned by the narcissist before they are no longer able to stay at the mansion. Anyway, so another reason that the new supply and the fan club they don't escape is because they're just in too deep and they can't leave. They have too many skeletons in the closet that have been revealed to the narcissist. The narcissist knows everything about them and probably could turn them in criminally, right? So that is why they don't leave. They are blackmailed by the narcissist and they cannot break it off without getting themselves into criminal trouble. A lot of times this happens and it's really sickening because the narcissist knows they have this control now. They have this hold over the supply or even the fan club. And they have evidence, pictures, videos, they have audio of the supply or the fan club incriminating themselves or even engaging in the crimes with the narcissist. So at this point, they know if the narcissist goes down, the narcissist is going to take them with the narcissist. So they cannot get out. They can't leave. They can't escape. They are just in too deep. And the best that they can hope for is that the narcissist cuts them loose, that the narcissist just forgets about them or gets so full of the fan club or get so many people in their fan club that they lose track of you. That is the best that these people can hope for in that situation with the narcissist. But the narcissist doesn't forget. The narcissist, when they need something, will call up that ex, will call up the old fan club and remind them that the fan club or the ex still owes them. So be very careful. If you have gotten away from the narcissist, try to disappear from their radar. Do not stay connected to the same mutual group of friends, right? Do not stay in the same town. If you have been involved with that kind of a narcissist that's criminal, you need to break off and get as far away as possible and pretty much change. If you can change your name, that's great. It's sad, but it really becomes a witness protection type of situation where you do not want to have them find you. You don't want them to have any access to you. You have to be so careful. So now you look at the new supply. There's a great example actually of this where essentially the narcissist owns the new supply. They own even the fan club. And the narc network is the fan club, okay? The narc network is owned by the narcissist. An example of this, I look at Kim Jong-il. This is the president of North Korea. And it's hilarious that they call him president because they have an election and yet there's one candidate. Okay, there's one candidate and you're required, or they say you're not required to show up to the election, but you are required because if you don't show up to vote for the one candidate, you will be sought out. They will hunt you down and find out why you didn't come to vote. And then that's when they will put you into a prison camp and forget it, because how dare you not come, unless you're on your deathbed, right? They don't understand why in the world you would not come and vote. Essentially, it is a census. So this president of this country who supposedly gets elected by a required election, required voting, and he's the only candidate running. I mean, this is a narc fantasy right there, right? Narc dream. that controls all this. He has he has officers, generals. If you ever watch some of these videos of him and his generals, it's hilarious because they have medals, I think all the way down their leg. Like they get so many medals on their jacket. I don't even know what you call it, uniform top, that they it's not enough room. So they have medals running down at least one side of the leg, like pant leg. It's hilarious. So the fan club kind of fight each other to be inside the inside network, to be close and appreciated, I guess, or mostly rewarded by their narc ruler. Now, Kim Jong Il has his supply is called the Pleasure Squad. Is that disgusting or what? Yes, they're actually called the Pleasure Squad. The Pleasure Squad is trained to do exactly that, to pleasure him. So not just, in that way that we think of, but also they're trained to sing, to perform, to act, to entertain him. So supply to this psychopath is simply objects that are to please him. They're not real people to him. Narcissists do not treat their supply like they're real people. They treat their supply like they're slaves, like they're servants. And the sad and sickening thing about this, though, is that no supply is actually valued. Okay? There's been a lot, not just rumor, well, I guess it is rumor because nobody knows what's happened, but apparently Kim Jong il's wife has not been seen. And I think it's been like for at least a year. So pretty much everybody is saying that he's done away with her, sadly. And here's the deal with the new supply and narcissists. This is how dangerous it is with narcissists. Their network, their flying monkeys, their group of people will cover for their crimes. And because they know they're in too deep, if they go against the narcissist, then the violence or the attack gets turned towards whoever stands up to it. So don't ever get yourself into that situation. If you can fade out and away from the narcissist, you are lucky. If you've been discarded by the narcissist, you are lucky. There's so many instances of new supply and fan clubs that cannot escape the narcissist. They are pretty much at the beck and call of the narcissist. You don't ever want to be there. It's like a totalitarian regime. Yeah. It's very, very, very creepy. So you guys, I want to see what's going on here. Yeah, Sue R says, my father had low self-esteem and he fell for my mother who had many narc traits. Oh boy. Yeah. And I'm not a member of the harem. Good to see you. Says, good morning. Happy New Year and blessings to you and yours. Abundance and health for 2021. Yes. And to you as well. Dana says, they are treating you poorly and they know they are. I keep hearing that they act like a child. I agree. They have childlike fits. But even my 3-year-old grandbaby corrects her behavior. Oh my gosh. And that is the difference, you guys, between a narcissist and a normal person. Narcissists do not curb their behavior. They don't learn. They give into their psycho, whatever realm in their head, and I'm trying to think of the word. Sorry, you guys. They make excuses for themselves, right? For why they behave the way they do. They had a bad childhood, or somebody else did something to them, or their ex, abandoned them, or this happened in their childhood, so this will always be them. Oh my gosh, I came across somebody who was saying that about slavery. saying that he will, even though he never experienced it, he's going to carry this pain with him to his grave. And I'm like, you do know that's a choice, right? Like everything we carry with us is a choice, but he wants to carry this pain. I'm like, okay. And that's a lot of times like narcissists, they want to carry whatever pain or injustice that was done to them or um, abuse that they endured. And the difference between a narcissist and actually maybe just a toxic person and people who heal is that the narcissist holds on to that pain as an excuse for what they're about to do. They hold on to it as what do you call it? A card, a license to treat others badly. They don't, it doesn't occur to them that when they hold on to this pain, that they abuse other people and other people don't deserve to be abused by them, right? They just don't see that. They can't see beyond their own pain. They don't see beyond and recognize that they are causing pain to other people now who now can claim that because of that pain, they can cause pain to other people. The narcissist doesn't see that in that way at all. They think that their pain is special and therefore they are special and therefore they have free reign on everybody else. And nobody else, though, can treat them the way that they treat everybody else. That is the double standard of the narcissist. That's the psychopathy that follows a narcissist. Now, you don't have to be a narcissist to behave that way because I've known people who behave that way who may not necessarily be a narcissist, but they are so caught up in their childhood trauma or adult trauma, even that they refuse to let go. And then there's trauma, made up trauma, right? And I want you guys to be careful about this. I've watched I was watching some other it was a TV show for crying out loud where the actor says he's Native American. He was adopted, didn't know he was Native American, but always felt that he was. I'm like, okay, I don't know, maybe. Sometimes you feel like connected to a culture because you kind of know because you kind of look that way, right? So you kind of feel like connected to a certain culture, even though you think I'm told I'm not from that culture or from that race, but you feel connected to it. So anyway, he finds out that he actually is Native American, and now as an adult, he claims that this identity is in him and has always been in him, and he senses this identity. And I'm like, you know, if you isolate a person and they were born in another country and actually doesn't have access to other people, you're not going to have an identity. Identity, a lot of times, is in your head. I can understand, though, that it can come, you kind of feel it viscerally, and maybe there's something spiritual about it. Okay, I can understand that. Now, to carry the pain, though, of that identity, right? To carry the historical pain of these people, um, it's kind of sad that that's all you're going to focus on. Like, focus on also the the magnificence of that culture, right? The power of that culture, the the, the creation that the things they've been able to create. If people only focus on the pain, what ends up happening is then they spread the pain because they feel like because of this pain, it's okay for them to lash out. It's okay for them to take out on other people, even innocent and especially actually innocent people that had nothing to do with this pain that they're carrying. So be very, very careful of that. I know it's being taught a lot out there right now, and people are being programmed. That's why I think TV is appropriately called programming, because that's what these videos do. That's what these movies, TV shows, documentary, I don't know, about docudramas, I guess, um, do. They program you to think a certain way, to feel a certain way, to feel connected in a certain way. And then you live it out in real life against the people who are around you. And that becomes toxic. So don't take that out. Okay, anyway, kind of got off on that. Just wanted to say that because when I heard this guy preaching about this pain that he's carrying with him from his ancestors, right? And I'm like, even that is a choice. You can carry that pain. You can do something good with it, right? You can educate others. You can make it so that others don't have to experience that pain. So, that's building, right? Be constructive. Don't use it as a destructive force to take out on others because, like you were saying earlier, I'm sorry, who is it who is saying that about their narc? Dana saying about their narc behaving worse than a 3-year-old child. And that's what they do. They take this pain, they take their frustration, they take their anger, and they throw these tantrums because they feel entitled, because they feel this pain. And you guys, nobody is entitled to hurt other people, all right? You're not entitled to take things out on innocent people just because you're feeling something, any more than they're entitled to take things out on you because they're feeling something. Don't live in a double standard world. Don't create a double standard, right? Nobody wants to create that for themselves. Yeah. Yep. So we are. They always make excuses and then they project it onto you. Yep. My narc said I would always make excuses. Oh my gosh. That's right. Excuse me, you guys. Let me get some water. Yeah, they make excuses for themselves and then they project onto you when you try to defend yourself. Like, you're not allowed to make excuses for yourself. Only they are allowed to make excuses for themselves. Because when you have a defense or an explanation for something, then they say you're always trying to make excuses. Yeah, exactly what they do. Yep. Is it me or is it kind of dark in here? See if I can make it lighter. Maybe there. There you go. So, yeah. Sweetheart says, yes, you can educate others about the narcs and others. Yes, they throw these tantrums like a toddler. My mother used to do this. Yeah, exactly. When you are stuck with a narcissist, you're essentially stuck with a tantrum throwing toddler who thinks that because they feel something, they're entitled to treat you whatever way they want to treat you. And that is the difference between having a healthy relationship and staying stuck with a narcissist. John, if you're still here with us, at the beginning you were talking about how your ex continually contacts you. What happens if we get stuck? We get stuck with that. And staying with a narcissist is not a hope-filled option. You might get a little hope because they act as if they still care about you. They act as if you're the only one they really did love. And if some of you who are coming on and don't know the story, John has this ex who is now married to someone else, living in a different city, but still contacts him and has been contacting him, so far as I know, for the last 2 years. And has been telling him that she wants to get away from her current husband and go back to him, which and I know John knows is a really bad idea. Once you get rid of that gypsy curse, the worst thing you can do is let it back in. You guys, count it as a blessing if someone else has taken this gypsy curse off of you. Oh my gosh, you escaped. You are now free. You're no longer a prisoner to that narcissist. If you let that gypsy curse back into your life, it will be twice as hard to try to get rid of it. And you're going to be treated even worse the second, third, fourth time you let them back in. And I hear that story so often, that each time they let the narcissist back into their life, it just got worse. So, okay, you guys, I'm going to see if I can lift. Oh, I see. I'm like trying to figure out my stuff here. Well, you guys, we are almost at the end of our hour, but I want to see what other comments you might have. What? Yeah. CBR says, yes, I cannot have an explanation. When narcissists get mad at you, they don't want to have an explanation why you did something. They just want to take out their anger on you, right? Because no explanation, first of all, is ever good enough for what made them angry, right? It's just, it doesn't matter what it was. If you were late because your car broke down, that's not a good enough explanation. Like it's still somehow your fault because you didn't get the car checked out months ago or something like that. Like you were supposed to prevent everything that upsets the narcissist. They are so controlling and so berating and so abusive that if you have the opportunity to get away and have gotten away, if you have been discarded, you count it as a blessing. So CER says, then the more I wonder why I stayed with that nonsense. How could I expose my children to that? And that was the final straw. He had to go. I could no longer let that be done to my children. Oh my gosh, yes. That's here's another thing that you brought up a really good point. Another reason why the new supply doesn't escape the narcissist is because we are willing to be treated badly. Like for some reason, people are more willing to allow others to treat them badly. But then when they see someone treating someone they love in the exact same way, just as badly as you were being treated, then we don't want that, right? Then we can recognize, wow, this is abusive, this is bad. But because we're either loving or we have very low self-esteem or we've been conditioned to continually accept this type of behavior for ourselves, we don't fight back. But then when we see it happening to someone else, this mama bear, this reaction comes out of us where, or like, no, this protective feeling comes out of us, and we want to protect the person being hurt, even though they're being hurt in the exact same way that we accept, right, for ourselves. So that actually is really helpful. And I've used that as an example for helping others to move on, because you have to picture someone else going through exactly what you are going through. And when you picture someone else you love going through exactly what you are going through, it wakes you up. It makes you realize, like, wait a minute, I don't want that for them. Why would I want that for me, right? It starts to propel you in the right direction. So if you need to get your mind out of this fantasy or this hope, if the narcissist has contacted you and is trying to hoover you back in, and you're thinking about all the good times, now place another person in that situation where you know how the narcissist is and how the narcissist treats people. Place someone you love in that situation and think, would you want that person? Would you advise that person to go back to the narcissist? And if not, then know that that's the answer for you as well, right? That wakes you up. Well, you guys, and the main reason for New Supply, or another reason for New Supply and Fan Club people not to leave the narcissist, or them not being able to escape, is that they're just deluded. They're simply deluded, right? They fall into this delusion with the narcissist, and they don't believe they have the power. They don't believe they have the ability. They've been broken down so much, but also they're in this delusion that things are going to get better. They think that next month, next year, eventually the narcissist is going to get better. And so they stay. They have this deluded hope, right? They're deceived, but they think the narcissist is going to change. Well, for one, because the narcissist will apologize and then say, I'm going to change. This is going to be different. Just watch. I'm going to be different. And they hold out. They hope that the narcissist will change because they hold on to this false hope. Well, you guys, we've covered quite a lot today, and I hope that this has helped you guys. Let me know in the comments if there are other things going on in your life. And the best way to contact me is through my latest videos going into the comments. And um, if you can, give me a thumbs up on the video and share the video or recommend this channel to other people. I know that the live streams are not everybody's cup of tea, but I keep them going because it's our community. It is a really good way to come and be a part of a group of people who've gone through the same things you have, who understand, and who never get tired of hearing how you're feeling, even though it's the same thing over and over again. Because sometimes it just takes a while. And we know, especially from narcissistic abuse, it takes quite a while to process and get through and heal properly. And it takes a community to do that. So I'm so glad that you guys came on today. Lady Marks, it's good to see you. Let me answer what you're saying here. He left me after 3 years after never willing to marry me and married the new supply 2 months after meeting her. Ah, Lady Marks. Yeah, that is really creepy and stupid, right? Of the narcissist. That's the crazy thing. If you will watch one of my videos, go into my channel and go into the videos. I think I have them on my homepage under categories, and one of them is the new supply category. I think it's the first grouping of videos. In there, I have one that's called "Why the Narcissist Immediately Marries the New Supply." That will help you. We know that the narcissist cannot be alone, and when they are not willing to marry you, and as they get older, by the way, they know they have to move faster. They know they have to lock down a commitment immediately, or else they will be alone. So be careful if ever that happens to you, and a narcissist is moving really fast with you and wants to get married within 2 months. Yeah, pay attention to that, because it's because they're trying to lock you down as fast as they can, and especially if they just got out of a relationship as well. This new supply is in for a huge rude awakening, and it's so much worse for her, because it's one thing to date a narcissist, it's another thing to be married to them, because now you are legally bound, and it's much harder to escape a legal commitment, right? A legal contract with a narcissist. That's why also you don't ever want to get into business with a narcissist, because then you become financially, legally bound to them. Well, you guys, yes, Lady March, you're welcome. Yeah, and I'll post it on this video too, but a lot of times I can't post anything to this video, like these links and the little eye icon, but I will link that video onto here as well. And I think if you watch my new supply videos, that really helps, because a lot of times I know that our focus is on the pain that comes when the narcissist moves on immediately with a new supply, and the rejection is that much harder, right? The pain of the rejection is that much worse, because the narcissist moves on so quickly, and we think, then it must be us. And by the way, that is one of the reasons why they move on, because they want to prove to you that it was you and not them, right? So don't fall for that. Yeah, Lady Mark says they are 10 years apart. And I'll give it to you right now, this advice or this information, insider information. The reason they go younger and younger for supply is because it's easier to manipulate younger people. It's easier to manipulate someone who hasn't had the experience yet of these types of relationships. And they're just more trusting, Someone who's younger is going to be more trusting and more willing. So that's why the narcissist loves going younger if they can. Now they get to a point where they get so gross that young people just, are grossed out by them. So it gets to there. Free Spirit says, "Thank you, Escape. Have a blessed day, all you beautiful souls." Yes, same to you too. Well, you guys, yeah. Sweetheart says, "Yep, they lock you down as fast as they absolutely can." Yes, they do. Well, you guys, I'm so glad that you came on. I appreciate you being here, and I hope that our community has helped you. Keep coming on, keep sharing these videos, and encourage others, especially the short videos. Those are much easier to share, and they get to a specific topic. Uh, and I know that that helps a lot of people. And I'll keep this channel going. But if you guys can help me keep this channel going, give me a thumbs up, make some comments in the comment section, get that algorithm going so that this video gets shared. So blessings to you. I hope that you have a great week, and we'll have so much more to talk about next week. And I will see you then.